I just want to give you guys a quick update on what I got going in these beds out here. Here is buckwheat. So I tilled up this section, put a bunch of compost on top, and then threw in some buckwheat. And that sprouted really well. It's been growing now for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And I mean, this stuff is notorious for growing really fast and also improving the soil. By the way, I got to come in and mow again. I did 4 days ago and it's already growing this high. It's just crazy, but that's what happens when you water an area. The weeds grow like crazy around it. So that's a lot of work to weed around. But this is growing really well. So probably in about a month, I'll be able to come through and mow this down, and that will add nutrients back into the soil, and then I can grow something else. So this is the furthest bed out. This is the sorghum, and I believe it's sorghum, and there you go. That's actually one of them is producing. All the rest aren't. And in this bed I had spread out some amaranth seed that never took off, but look at that. Finally an amaranth came up. So I might, when I cut this down, I'm not going to harvest the sorghum. I'm just going to use this as a kind of a cover crop. We'll mow this down, but I'm going to try not to hit this, so I might use the weed eater and let that continue to grow and maybe plant around it, because I would love to have some amaranth. And yeah, so the rest of this is, that's what all this is. So I'll be able to kind of mow this down and then, you know, till it back into the soil. I will say that all the beans never really did anything. You can see here. They're kind of coming up, but they're super slow. These were planted a long time ago and nothing came of it. This bed, I did a video where I haven't finished that video, but a video will come out of what I did here. But basically I took down the corn that was here and I tilled this up, put some compost, basically the same thing I did over there, but instead of doing a cover crop, I just covered it with some tarp, and I'm hoping to be able to get something in here pretty quickly. Probably the next week or two. And then here is the corn that's actually doing really well. I'm really happy with this, guys. Check this out. So I've done a couple videos on this lately, but I wanted to show you guys even the dead corn is silking now. So if you look, check that out. And it's really pretty silks. They're reddish. We've got some other silk coming up on a couple other ones that are not reddish, so it seems like they're kind of, maybe it got cross-pollinated with something, I don't know, but only a couple of them so far. There's some silk, and you can see it's not red of that big one, but only a couple of them so far, but they're all kind of starting to see, you know, we'll get silks on all of them pretty soon. There's one that will start soon. So, but all of the popcorn variety here is silking. In fact, that popcorn produces a lot. Look at that. I've got 3 separate silks there on that stalk. Most of them are 2 or 3, and that should give me quite a bit of popcorn. I'm pretty happy with that, guys. This is growing really well, a lot better than the previous corn did, and a lot better than my expectations, honestly. So what I did here has really worked, so I'll continue this throughout all of the beds, and I should be able to start growing something pretty good soon. So as you guys know, it's been a long haul here trying to get this soil back up to, you know, good growing conditions. I've got incredibly difficult soil to work. This is mostly clay. Right on top there's a little bit of sand, but sandy clay basically is what I got, but mixed with rocks. You can see all the rocks everywhere. So it's a lot of work to remove those rocks, till this in and stuff, but we're almost to the point of no till. I think I can actually, with this bed, I might not even have to till at all. I might just come in with a broad fork and just kind of aerate the soil as I put compost on top. I'm pretty excited about that, guys. I mean, I can't tell you how hard I've worked to get this area back here up and running, and it's almost there. A couple of these beds are not doing well, but that's because I didn't do as much work on those as I did here. So as soon as those are ready to till, which I plan on soon, and then this one, and of course the buckwheat one, those should actually grow pretty well. And I plan on putting another row of corn where the buckwheat is. I've got plenty of time here. I think most of the time it's late July or early August that we in Texas here, South Texas, do a second planting of corn, because we've got until almost November before we hit frost. So that second planting, of course, I'll have to do a quick variety, a fast variety, but I should be able to get something in. And I've got one that is a 75 days, so that should be able to produce, and it's a sweet corn. Should be able to plant that over there and get some. So pretty excited about that. Of course, all these sunflowers, while they're not tall, are producing pretty flowers and bringing in all the pollinators, which is great. So happy about that. One other thing I want to say right here. So I took some soil that I had dug up, which was really good soil, underneath that tree, and I realized it was really good. So I put that on top, but right under it I put buckwheat. So I sprinkled buckwheat on my hugelkultur bed here, and this will be pretty much the first cover crop. I tried doing a cover crop before, but it just wasn't settled enough, and it burnt those plants, and you know, they weren't growing. But I think we're at the point now, it's been three or 4 months, that at least buckwheat should be able to come in and start putting roots down in and breaking up some of those logs and wood chips and stuff. And anyway, so I just sprinkled in the buckwheat seed just like I did over there, and then I put some dirt on top, some really good looking soil from over there right on top, and that should help keep that moisture in. And I even have a couple of them you can see sprouting up here. Actually, that's it. That's not a buckwheat. Right there, that's a buckwheat. And so a couple of them are coming up, but this is the first day I've seen any sprouts. So in the next couple days, I'll see this kind of start to really sprout up. So every time I plant, it seems like the ground is getting better and better. Of course, I'm adding a lot of nutrients back into the soil, and compost and organic matter. So, you know, plus every time you plant, you're putting roots down in the soil, which is also organic matter. And one other thing I got going on is I just ordered a bunch of compost, so about 10 yards of compost, because I'm going to be getting someone to come in and till up all of this. This whole section of my yard is all going to be tilled up from like right here all the way over to right about there. And so it's about 50 by roughly 40 section, foot section. And they're going to pull out a lot of these stumps and then till all this up. And then I've got 10 yards of compost that I'm going to put over this. And then I've got something called silage tarps that should be able to cover all of that. I've got 2 of them that are 100 foot by 20 foot. So in reality, I only need one of those tarps, put it over, I can cut it, and then bring the other one over, and then I can cover that for, you know, a month or 2, kill all the weeds. That'll kill everything here after it's tilled. So those seeds will sprout, and then they'll die because they won't have sunlight. And that should help me be able to start doing some bigger beds without having to hand do this like I've been doing here. But it is possible, so I wanted to show you guys this, that it is possible. I will keep these beds as my hand till to kind of compare the two between hand doing it and trying to and bringing in heavy machinery to till up. But once that heavy machinery tills up, from that point on I won't be tilling afterwards. I'll just be adding compost back on top. So I found a place. It's $350 for 10 yards of compost, and it's good compost, and it's actually a pretty good deal. And so they will be, and that includes delivery. So they'll be delivering it next week, and the following week they're gonna till this up. So, well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys like this kind of content, please subscribe and hit that bell notification for future video updates. Also, if you could hit the like button, it would really help me and the channel out. I will see you on the next video. Now you guys try to escape the daily grind.